Scrum is a project management methodology involving a specific set of meetings, tools, and roles that help teams manage and accomplish iterative cycles of work. Scrum, like Kanban and extreme programming, is a framework that fits into the Agile project management methodology. Does your team ever struggle to make progress on large-scale or ongoing projects? You might have heard the rugby term Scrum in relation to better managing complex projects, and you're likely wondering, what is Scrum in project management? And can it help your team tackle work more effectively? Let's take a look at what an Agile methodology entails before we dig into the details of the Scrum framework. Agile project management involves a set of values and principles. These include individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. If you'd like to learn more about all that Agile methodology contains, check out the video linked in the description. While completely adopting an Agile framework for your team involves a substantial cultural shift, incorporating Scrum rituals can help your team begin to shift toward more Agile work. So can any team benefit from incorporating Scrum into their way of work? And what are the benefits of using Scrum in project management? Teams who deal with complex projects can use and benefit from Scrum in project management. The teams that use Scrum in project management the most are those involved in software development and engineering. But any team, including HR, design, or marketing, can use Scrum. There are several important benefits of using Scrum in project management that make it appealing. First, a Scrum framework can help break down complex projects or ever-growing task lists into more manageable, bite-sized pieces. Dividing large projects into smaller chunks means that teams can complete higher-quality work at a much faster rate. Another benefit of Scrum is that the framework naturally lends itself well to change. Scrum in project management allows teams to stay flexible, quickly adapting to changing customer or product needs. Getting started with Scrum for your team's project might feel daunting, in part because Scrum relies on unique terms that may be unfamiliar. First things first, a sprint is the backbone of the Scrum framework. A sprint is a cycle of iterative work your team undertakes for a set period of time, and usually lasts about 2 weeks. Sprints are cyclical, so your team will plan a sprint, complete a body of work, and then begin again with another 2-week cycle. Think about a software product your development team is working on. The product vision is the ultimate finished software product, and the sprint goal is a set of tasks from the ongoing list of tasks comprising the product backlog. Once you have your product vision and a running list of product updates in the backlog, you're ready to start with your Scrum ceremonies. Scrum ceremonies are a fancy way of describing the milestones of a Scrum sprint. The Scrum ceremonies include sprint planning, daily stand-up check-in meetings, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. The first piece of the Scrum puzzle is sprint planning. During this Scrum ceremony, the team determines the goal of this specific sprint and decides what tasks, updates, or additions can be accomplished during the sprint. The team will move those tasks from the product backlog to the current sprint so the team can put their full focus on those tasks for the duration of the sprint. The next milestones take place every day of the sprint, daily stand-ups. These check-in meetings take place at the same time and same place every day. They should be short enough to be taken standing up and usually only last about 15 minutes. The goal of a daily stand-up is to keep the entire team on the same page and address any roadblocks before they cause issues with the sprint's progress. At the end of each Scrum sprint, the team takes part in a sprint review, where the team presents the accomplishments from that sprint. Team members might detail the bugs they cleared or the new innovation they coded to solve a customer problem. The final Scrum ceremony is the sprint retrospective, during which team members discuss and document the ways the sprint went well, as well as the ways it could be improved. In this way, the Scrum framework should help teams adjust how they work in a way that improves and adjusts over time. Scrum sprints need 2 critical elements to run effectively: a Scrum Master and a Product Owner. The Product Owner is the person who is ultimately responsible for the work that comes from a sprint. The Product Owner must maintain and ensure that the sprint goals are clear to all team members And they are also tasked with keeping the product backlog updated, prioritizing and organizing the backlog tasks, and clearly communicate the backlog tasks to the team. The other important role in the Scrum framework is the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master facilitates the team's communications and ceremonies, eliminates any obstacles the team might face in completing the sprint tasks, and functions as a Scrum expert, able to coach the rest of the team in successfully completing Scrum sprints. Finally, Scrum and project management wouldn't function without the development team. The development team is made up of those who are carrying out the product backlog tasks during the sprint. Over the course of a sprint, teams will use or collect information called artifacts. These include the product backlog, sprint backlog, increment, and burn-down chart. These are documents or sets of information that help teams plan or progress a sprint successfully. Product backlogs and sprint backlogs are fairly simple to understand. The product backlog is the total list of work that needs to be completed on a product, such as before a launch or ahead of a version release. Sprint backlogs are the running list of tasks to be completed during one specific sprint. The increment is the entire list of tasks that needs to be completed before the end of the sprint. One task the team needs to complete before embarking on a sprint is to determine their own definition of done, which is a pre-built list of requirements necessary for the work to be approved. A burn-down chart is a graph that shows how much of the sprint increment has been completed and how much is left to be finished. A burn-down chart can show the team, product owners, and Scrum Master the progress that has been made, giving an indication of the time used and work created over the course of a sprint. In order to truly master Scrum project management, your team needs the right software that will encourage collaboration between team members, enhance communication and efficiency throughout the sprint, and offer visibility for the sprint backlog. Figuring out how to use Scrum and project management for your own team is no small task. Luckily, Wrike can help. Wrike's versatile project management software has plug-and-play options for your Scrum dashboards that will help you build your Agile framework in a flash. Wrike integrates with calendar software, helping your Scrum Master schedule daily stand-ups, and uses a handy task view to optimize your sprint backlog.